Hello, my name is John Liu, Flow Ninja, and today I have a very short video on how to update modern SharePoint site theme using Microsoft Flow or Power Automate. So SharePoint modern sites are fairly functional, a lot of web paths, very easy to customize, very easy to kind of get to where you want to be in terms of look and feel. Generally then we look at how do we customize the colors to match our company colors. If we head into change the look, you can see there are these things called themes, and the current default selection is this great one. You can pick one of the other ones that are out of box, and then you can customize from that. If I say pick that, you could change a few of these colors. That will save the theme, and you will see it up here. Now, but sometimes you may have already a predefined set of colors, or you want to change colors that are not available in that small list of choices. That's when we need to build a custom SharePoint theme. So there is a documentation on SharePoint site theming, and these are the default colors and so on. And there is also a bit about the JSON schema, so all the different palettes, the different words that you could use all here. Here we go. Microsoft provides this theme generator tool. So if I take you there, and it's part of the Fluent theme design, and we can easily change this color to say. So I have a color that I want. Let me change it to this dark teal color, and it will show you, the various components and what colors they might look like, and so on and so forth. And from here we can export the theme, which will give us either the code, this is for JavaScript code, for JSON, which is this one, and for PowerShell. Okay, now we can then take this JSON and then let's go and write a flow. The flow I have is actually right here that I've already written. And we'll start with, this one is a manual trigger flow, so just trigger from any kind of trigger. I did think about what if we write that JSON file to a document library and then the flow will be triggered when you update that file. So that may be an interesting extension that you might want to do, build a nicer designer or tweak it by just updating a JSON file rather than update it in the flow. But over here in the compose, basically we can paste the entire site schema, which is over here. This schema, you can include the name if you want. I didn't actually do it, I just included the palette. Okay, so these are the colors that I decided to use, and you see the primary color. So the theme primary is 234C5D, so that's that color. And then all the secondary and kind of slightly tweaked colors that are generated from that. So we pop that row into a compose, which is, so this whole thing is a JSON object, curly brackets on the outside, palette, and then a set of colors. You can override additional colors. So say for example, if I want to do yellow. So yeah, maybe my company yellow is this yellow from the sun here. So let's take a snapshot of that color. And we see the color is this color. We can paste that in here. Okay, so that's the first part. We need a JSON. That's the theme file. Then the second part is we actually need to give it a name. So to send this message over to SharePoint, we need to give it a name, and name this after your company theme. So this one that I'm doing is for a site called Beehive. Beehive is surprisingly a very common name for SharePoint community hub sites. Beehive. So you may have a Beehive in your SharePoint installation. You never know. I've seen it several times across different companies. So you have that, and then we need to actually compress the entire JSON into a string. So the JSON definition need to be stringified. In fact, if I show you the code for this, the code that we want to call, which is the site theming REST API, we want to call the theme update tenant theme with the name, and the theme JSON, which is stringified. So to stringify a JSON, we use the string function, and have that take the output from the first compose. So stick that second JSON in here. We're sending no metadata. We want update tenant theme, API theme manager on the side with the post. So once we do all that, let's hit, let's just run it again. So run that again. It runs very quickly, 2 seconds. And while we, before we go and see the result, I want to point a few more resources. One of the SharePoint MVPs, Laura Kokkarinen, I hope I didn't mess up that name. She wrote a very detailed blog post as well as the PMP video on how to do theming. Go into quite a lot of details about each individual color. If you want to update a certain piece of color, which code that you will need to replace. So very detailed, goes through all that. And right at the end, she will point to using PowerShell to make the update. Using the PMP PowerShell, there is a set PMP web theme that we can call, and that will basically invoke that endpoint and send that REST. So really very interesting, a lot of details, far more than what I covered in this recording. So definitely check that out. I will leave a link in the description. And you really need to refer to it to work out which of the theme styles that you want to update anyway. So definitely look at that resource. But maybe you don't have access to PowerShell, or you can't run PowerShell against your site. So I'm proposing a second way of, hey, we could just call REST and directly send that JSON to the SharePoint site and update the site that way. Okay, now let's come back and have a quick look at this site. So in the theme, I want to select the Beehive theme, which is this one. And if I save this, it will apply the theme. Okay. I can do it here. Yeah, so we can set that to a theme. And you can see all the buttons are already changing color as we go. So once the theme is updated, you will find that here under a new category called company themes. Select that and then you can apply it, and then your company theme will be applied. If it's not the right color, and only to this site, so it doesn't affect all your other sites. If it's not the right color, then go back to the flow and just find the color that you need to change, and then update that and re-update it, and then recheck here. Lots of fancy things with themes. We can hit edit, and you see this color comes through everywhere. The primary color appears in your quick links, in your most recent documents, in the hero web part, which is this top one. Also, with the secondary theme color, you can control these background colors for different sections. So the section color, we can give a bit more contrast. With with this theme set, I have a dark teal, a light teal, and a misty gray color. So you can use that to create more contrast. Save and publish that, and this is all out of the box SharePoint. So you can make your content really stand out and separate the sections and give a bit more background. The theme applies to everything that's in this site, including the news pages or content pages that you create. So you see all the colors come through. When we edit the content, if I were to say, and we pop over to colors, and then these colors, you'll see we can, because we changed the color yellow, this yellow reflects the yellow, that's this color. So if I select that, you can see the color is F3C525. Sorry, F3CF25, which is the color that we inserted into our flow for yellow down here. Okay, so yeah, so some of these will even change the palette that your content editor could use when they're writing and creating web page. So it could really give your site a very consistent look and feel, and make it look just generally nicer. To update things like the background, apply additional CSS, you do need to apply a SharePoint framework application customizer. That's something I built separately, so that's really not part of the video, but I do want to show you if you want to do that. I built one, and when I activate it, this happens for the site. So application customizer, so if I just refresh that now, you can see I add a bit more CSS to insert a background picture over the heading, and that takes effect on all the pages within the site. So if I go over to the main Beehive site as well, you see, so the theme color still controls majority of the experience, but there are some parts where you want to insert CSS. You do need a bit of SharePoint framework to help you. That's this video. Hope you enjoy it. The flow itself is very simple. So basically pushing that JSON into this endpoint. These are all standard actions. There are no, and just remember this palette, this theme definition has to be encoded. So that's what the second string is. It turns the first JSON into the encoded string. And send that to SharePoint, and SharePoint will be happy. Yeah, like and subscribe to this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.